Don't stare. How would you look after eons in some ghastly crypt? Your people are rather prone to death. Mine are not. Yet when I emerged from my completely unjustified imprisonment, I found them gone. Our culture forgotten. Any trace of the world I knew all but obliterated. I must even hide my true face beneath an ever-shifting mask for fear you savages will attack me. That is how I wander this strange world. Trying to uncover the truth about a history you primitive people never even knew existed.
I'll yield to none.
I'm ready! Prepare yourself!
Try again.
Greet the Reaper for me.
Meet your maker! You're not trying to escape. Better luck next time.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry, the sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now, no need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
Well, look what the doctor got. You're lucky they didn't notice just how thin you were under those bandages. Although, seeing someone wrapped up like that, they probably thought you had the scabbing plague. Heh? Look, laugh, but don't touch. Better keep that hood down, mind you. The living don't take kindly to seeing their future staring back at them.
An animal sty? Freight or food?
Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep eyes you balefully, her rectangular eyes like letterboxes to the void. With one sharp hoof, she kicks you right in the shin.
indications of a struggle.
Junk.
You there. Come here. Hey. Hey. Get me out of this cage and I'll make it worth your while. You in? Your guess is as good as mine. Someone screamed loud as a banshee. After that, pure pandemonium. They never even told me what I was accused of. Just dragged me down here. Set me free, and I'll set you free. A fair trade, I should think. A gentleman among jesters, you are. Give that lever a pull, and I guarantee we'll both get something out of the deal.
Before you can even touch the lever, you hear a sniff and snort behind you as the snoring Magister mumbles himself awake. One bloodshot eye opens, and then another.
Is my shift over? Are you here to relieve me? Wait, you're no magister. You're a sorcerer. What are you doing here, filthy scrounger? Choose your words carefully. My fists ache to meet a new face. Those idiots can't even walk straight without mucking it up. Was it Rick's? I bet it was Rick's. Can't just leave the prisoner alone, though. I heard he might be the one causing trouble upstairs. If it's all the same, I think it's best he comes with me. Some offence intended. You hear that, Emoire? We're taking a walk. Hurry it up, sorcerer. We haven't got all day.
No. That's my problem solved. The dead magister. Somebody will have to take the blame for this, and it won't be me.
Did you expect a needle?
Everything speaks, man. What to do, really?
Empty.
In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time with us. Why, you're looking a bit more chipper. Yes. Looks like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of work, even if I do say
Empty.
so myself. There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. Why? Because we're at sea, of course, and have been for several days.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to sauce. For good.
She frowns and peers at you closely, concern clearly etched upon her face.
Delusions such as these are rare, but not unheard of. I recommend a cup of mulled wine and another night's sleep. Just take it easy. Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those sauce spells of yours? See what happens. Oh, do go on. I won't hold it against you. Promise. My, aren't we a meek little lamb? Perhaps I needn't have collared you at all, though it does look darling on you. So let's just leave it on, shall we? Because to answer your question, what this collar does is this. It makes you unable to cast source. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
Good God. There's been a murder
Behind the
here.
Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does. You surprised? You're one of them. You know what sorcerers are capable of? Whoever did this found a way around their collar and killed a man. Small ones this time, thank the gods. We'll find out who did it, one way or another.
Dallas is such a dear lending it to me.
Nothing to see here.
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. Finn was killed by Source. If a Magister could do that, there wouldn't be a Magister. It looks more like a passenger managed to slip their collar. And the rest, well, you see the evidence in front of you. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Thanks. I just want to catch whoever did this before they hurt anyone else.
Come on, please, Loisa. Be good, you scallywags.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them. One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're leading us on one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad?
Snake eyes.
Insufferable?
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet.
She shakes her head.
To listen.
Game for one, I'm afraid. Rolling dice. Deciding fates.
Be good, you scallywags.
Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no, but I can read the past in flesh. One of the perks of being an elf, you see. I'm quite good at it, too. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat grooming.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers. As everyone lay sleeping, you lay awake thinking of someone back home. A very special someone. You were reminiscing about the things you used to do together.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
She pats you on the shoulder consolingly.
There, don't you worry, darling. Your secret's safe with me. I don't lick and tell.
It was one of them. I know it.
Would you put
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty.
The ship, of course.
The Magister's more concerned than your appetite.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And?
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Mest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire.
You've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of the ship.
Sick as a leper's cat. From the state of it, I'd say she's being cared for by a bunch of beardless babes who never loved anyone but their own mums. But there's more. Listen close. How dare you classify this slop as food? There now, just like that.
Squeak!
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news.
Maybe that has the Magister's more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Never thought you'd end up in prison, convict.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Mest. Your kind.
No, you beautiful idiot. That wasn't any rat. It was the wheel. Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east.
Soon as the Inquisitor
Burn my beard. That means if we'd been traveling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy. No indeed, boy. But that ain't my final destination.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
You've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with him.
Come on, please, Losa. I forgot how to sing. I did.
He continues stroking his beard, a beatific smile on his lips, and doesn't acknowledge you anymore.
She got eaten by a
You one of them? A divine order loyal? They killed a sorcerer, you know. They'll hide the evidence well enough, but make no mistake.
Classify this slop as food. I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs. Well, well. What have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
My, we are fierce, aren't we? Not to worry. I'll soon remedy that. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook? And of course, a cook who can't taste is about as useful as a dog in a chess game. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
You'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Mest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine.
Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic, a bag is as good as a shirt kind of style. I shouldn't be getting my hopes up. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after.
You put a knuckle in it. I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill
Just as I thought. That explains what's besieging my nostrils. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we? As per your own testimony, you have the taste buds of a dung beetle, the fashion sense of a monkey in a clown suit, and your personal hygiene reminds one of a carcass rotting in the sun. That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry. You should probably come to terms with the fact that you've half a mind, full stop. You'll never attain the rank of slave with manners such as that. Still, hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify for a position in a lesser household than mine. You keep dreaming, you hear?
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots and rotten tubers, too. Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall. The indignity.
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer. Go take your sub-story somewhere else.
Ask what you must. I've nothing to hide.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens and beckons for you to come closer.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this trampy fan.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
Suit yourself. Was just going to adjust your collar for you. It pinches, right?
Your Majesty, turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner.
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the joy. Away from interested parties. No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intensity.
Maybe that has the Magister's more concern than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. The joy, I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop Alexander runs the show. Wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself.
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips.
Easy now. I might think the same, but Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
And I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magister's more concern than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
What are you conspiring about over there? You! What's your name?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name?
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in his voluminous robes.
Away with you, at once.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back against the wall.
You think me mad?
Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
Ah, there you are. Husband. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this loser woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical. How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused with anyone else. What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? You'd presume right. Nope. Trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better. Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too soft for it. You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Keep those bolts trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out and examines your bandages, rubbing them between his fingers.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
There has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magister's more concern than more appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly...
It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history? Oh, please. I have no interest in that. Your books are too full of it already. No, I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind? Of course you don't have any useful information. Why did I expect anything else? Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
No amount of pestering will get the elf to take his eyes off his book or respond to your questions.
It's a register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far?
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
He tugs the collar of his uniform and chuckles.
Sorry you're upset, sir, but we all wear what we wear for a reason. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Keep those bolts trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer! Go and fetch Magister Siwan! We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts Source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
Happening?
No time for chatter! We've got to get out of here!
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a dire-looking wound.
Blocked. I'll need to find another way.
Ifan lies motionless, curled on the ground like an animal. Under his shaggy hair, you can see green eyes fluttering as if in a nightmare. A low whine escapes his lips. His eyes flicker open, but he doesn't register your presence at all.
Lucien. Lucien.
Ivan cries out. Then his eyes fall closed again. No matter how much you shake him now, he cannot be roused.
No, not the final dark. Not yet.
It's no use. Your words do not seem to reach her.
The dice roll darkly. They're rolling for me.
The dwarf lies in a heap on the floor, his great beard twisted and tangled around him. He is stock still. You can't see if he's living or dead.
What? What happened? Must have been the turnips. You dare strike a royal? Ooh.
The lizard's eyes close as he slips into unconsciousness. The young woman lies in a heap on the floor. She's breathing normally, but her eyes are wide open, like those of a corpse. Dark, greyish-black clouds swirl through them. She doesn't stir.
Not long before this thing snaps into splinters! Damn, that doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
Thank gods. By divine grace, who was that howling?
He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches a hand towards his blade.
Another sorcerer! Even if I knew how to rip that thing off, I wouldn't. Some crazy banshee comes screaming through, and now we got void bugs swarming up top. Saw it coming, I did. Sorcerer mutiny. Curdled my blood when she appeared. Ship shook like a typhoon had struck, and then she was gone again. Look around. You see how that story ends. Nothing but sauce can do this. Your lies end here.
Bishop Alexander. If Lucian were alive, what would he think of his son's divine order?
And you thought Rivellon was flat?
Bishop Alexander. If Lucian were alive, what would he think of his son's divine order?
God damn it! We need to get off this wreck, and quick!
On the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You recognize the symbol immediately for what it is, a warning of death fog within. You press your palm against the door to open it. Your fingers clack against the wood, and you suddenly feel grey. The touch leaves you numb, dull. It doesn't budge. The skeleton looks up and notices you for the first time.
Oh. Yes? Shouldn't you be running or screaming or some such?
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book, frantically flipping from page to page.
I know your god did not gift you with much, but kindly use the little you were given. Do you look at me and think, why yes, there is someone with organs enough to drown? Trifling matters like water and poison do not concern me. No, damp robes are the most I have to fear. Once this glorified skiff hits the sea floor, I will simply walk to shore. Whereas you, I believe, have lifeboats to pointlessly squabble over. I believe you did, although I was wearing the face of an elf at the time. I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed, which allowed me to take that primitive form. A mask that was stolen by that damned witch after her little scene. Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools, and I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead hands. Indeed. Just as sensible as getting off a sinking ship and leaving a fellow to his business. I would say good day, but it seems quite likely that you're about to die a rather terrible death, so...
The skeleton shrugs casually and returns to his book.
Death fog? Good thing I'm immune. Still, this means trouble.
lifeboat! That means there's still a chance!
My ball! You...
Go on, kid. Climb up there and dig in the rope.
The Magister lies on the
said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time to get the hell out of here.
Thank you! There's a ladder right over there. You can go straight down.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear?
There's a boat. Wait! Void woken!
Beardless bugs won't sink the ship on my watch.
I thought Void Woken was supposed to be scary.
Let the games begin.
I've faced worse.
They who are about to triumph.
Let's head above decks for some air.
I hear something. It's...
Wait! We need to wait!
Lords! That thing! There's no time.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
Did you see them? The Voidwoken. They made short bloody work of our shit.
No telling if there are more ashore. And I doubt that that voice will save any of us again.
I thought the Order would get rid of any trace of the old Source King.
I thought the Order would get rid of any trace of the old Source King.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Why? I guess. Well, the people who put me here are human, and the people who took my parents away are human too. Or do you mean because I'm a... Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose, closes one eye, and looks at himself again.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong or crazy. No one cares where I go. They know I can't leave the island. It's nicer out here than inside, anyway. They're gone now. Their Magisters took them already. I guess now they're cured. And maybe they're waiting for me back at home. But you didn't die. I guess I am. But it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary. There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean. You'll see.
void-woken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn, they made it ashore.
Stare at the slain beasts and comment that they must have been the cause of the shipwreck.
They're just animals. Easy enough to euthanize.
They didn't put up much of a fight. Dry land mustn't suit them. Drowned and eaten by a void-woken. I wonder in which order.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red color. Could he be... Yes, you recognize him from the ship.
It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, two smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
Yes, I imagine you do. You're made of sterner stuff than I first gave you credit for. Chances are I wouldn't have survived the shipwreck had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dreadful hold. You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we? Now then, if there's nothing further. I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing out over the waves.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Memories. Quite so.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap against your thoughts.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost. What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I say. I had a very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? The very same. I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World-Tamer, the spouse of the sun. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. truly. A kind offer indeed. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship, after all. Fine, I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer, one of the mystics of my kind. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company. Jolly good. Oh, my word. How you do astound me. Come now, did you really think a handful of linen towels can fool me? But don't worry. I have studied the arcane arts for years, including necromancy and demonology. I do not hold the petty prejudices of common folks. In fact, I prefer the exceptional in all things. Your secret is safe with me. So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Very well. Onwards, then, to victory or death.
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so delicately between courtesy and contempt.
Now, as you're aware, you'll be travelling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, Milord. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest as we go. So, without further ado, let us be off!
A black cat. Some would see this as a...
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity. Its eyes clear, and it shakes its head, confused. The cat's eyes are... It appears... The cat's eyes are... Its eye...
I've spotted something.
We already know the truth, Magister. Now speak.
I am a proud loyal to the Order. I would not dream of subverting our cause.
Please. Your godwoman has asked you a question. Answer him.
I wonder where this leads.
You walk up to a skeleton unlike any you have ever seen before. His skull seems to be carved into intricate patterns with a gemstone sitting in the middle of his forehead. Approaching, you hear a profane rumble from the undead beast.
Bugger. How on earth am I supposed to... Oh. Perhaps...
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards. After a few more tugs at the man's cheeks, the skeleton relents, letting the head drop to the ground with a damp thud.
Damnation. That stuck fast. I wonder, does the beard act as some form of anchor? Ah! No! Stay back! Don't... Oh, it's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected. Why, its face, of course. What other use would I have for some rotting corpse? A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull. I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip the face from the body. I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But as I lack such a tool...
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. I have important things to do on Reaper's Coast. I cannot simply sit about waiting for the rest of you to die so I may continue my business in peace. No. I may be an eternal, but my patience has its limits. Indeed, I may be the only eternal. My people seem rather absent. At least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. Perhaps there I'll find my answers. I suppose, circumstances being what they are, it could be advantageous. You seem more at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly be useful. Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that I am rather skilled in, well, all things. Of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality. But being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. So, which do you require for this enterprise of yours? Ah, you seek a more subtle approach. How surprisingly civilized. Very well. What do you require? I could do that with one hand behind my spine. Now, shall we get on? There is rather a lot to see.
Splendid. Very well. Let's be off.
No! Get out! You are not welcome here! Go, man-pig!
She eyes you suspiciously.
Please, please, just go.
Really? Yeah. Warrior Princess Coral.
You hear me, human. Leave. You hear me, human. Leave.
What's happening to these turtles? They're transforming.
deplorable surrounding for an agree...
Swallowed too much seawater by the looks of him.
Foolish to attempt an escape by sea in these waters. What's this? I found something.
A snarl of vines snakes upward from the corpse. After a moment, you realize the gruesome truth. They're not entangling the corpse, but bursting from it. The vines bear unmistakable signs of old elven magic, the likes of which science once used to make entire forests spring to life. The vines have split the corpse's chest with incredible force. Thin roots wriggle from limbs and nail beds, anchoring it to the ground. The vines encircle a rough depression, as if something held there was violently torn free. Before you even registered the cool flesh, the vines lash around your wrist and drag you close. They pulse, tightening mercilessly, and release you, withdrawing sluggishly, as if sated, for now.
The witch don't fool me. She's wrecked this ship by herself, with a collar on.
I tell you, I am no witch.
The spores do this. If I do not find the rest...
Store the elven hedge magic. Weren't much use when we flooded your forest with death fog, were it? Lucian said it was a necessary evil. Me? I was just sorry we didn't get the lot of you.
You! I try to give you a chance. More than your divine order give mine.
Oh, sir. Her armor!
The scion twitches in sudden rage, and her armor uncoils, as if made of living vines.
No more chances.
Got a new stick for you to chew.
You hear me, human?
Hey, mister. It's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? I'm sure glad some of the others made it out alive too. Saw one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few hours ago. Say hi for me. 1, 2, long dead of the crew. 3, 4, pretty shells on the shore. 1, 2, long dead of the crew. 3, 4, pretty shells on the shore.
cause.
Your godwin has asked you a question. Answer him. We already know the truth, Magister. Now speak.
I am a proud loyal to the Order. I would not dream of subverting our cause.
Your godwin has asked you a question. Answer him.
I know nothing of any birds.
We already know the truth, Magister. Now speak.
I am a proud loyal to the Order. I would not dream of subverting our cause.
Your godwoken has asked you a question. Answer him. We already know the truth, Magister. Is now speak. Your godwoken has asked you a question. Answer him.
Please.
I told him your godwoken has asked you a question. Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son, your bishop, and your friend these many years. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, then you will help the void destroy it. Dallas?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere.
The lizard magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
The cruelty of it makes me sick.
She was a lizard, yet a magister. No matter her reasons, her penalty was fair.
These creatures are so prone to violence. Naturally, the weaker specimens suffer.
about to serve for the good of humankind. Without us, Rivellon's off to the void in a handbasket, in the crook of a Voidwoken's claw.
Bishop's the son of the dead divine. Don't know when we'll get a new one, but Alexander's looking after us in the meantime all the same. And the hammer's a solid sort. Don't take no guff and don't stand for no idling. Earned that name for a reason, she did.
During the time of Lucian, of course. Who wouldn't join up with God himself? He was all glory, all goodness. When we lost him, well, it only made sense to see his will through. Lucian gave his life to protect Rivellon. If we let the Voidwoken get to it now, well, we'd have lost him for nothing. Fort Joy ain't no summer camp. No one said it were, but it's the best we've got to protect the realm. Can't for certain, but I reckon when God himself gives his life to protect you, you don't waste the gift. You protect it with everything you've got. So that's what we do. When you give up the darkness that's inside you, take your fault, it's there, mind. But it's there all the same. They're working on a cure for you even now. Got some good leads, so I hear. You can trust Dallas to take care of it. And once you're cured, your life will start again.
Right, God. Will you quit dragging this on? Did you see them, sir? Bishop Alexander and the hammer herself, they were so close, almost within arm's reach. She's gone. God. They were just there but a moment ago. Come on then, Lexi. Hey up.
Pipe down, Flora. It's time to accept reality.
Pay up, Elf. No one shorts Griff. Especially not one of you.
Stay down, you!
Everyone in camp's got to contribute. For food, for protection, no exceptions. Especially not for elves. Griff's orders.
Food? Protection? I have neither.
You two ought to be thanking your lucky gods it's us, and not the Magisters enforcing round here. A fool never knows what they've got till it's well and gone. Now come on, Elf. If you make me say it again, there's gonna be trouble.
And neither will I.
We got a system, and it looks like you don't want to fit in.
Follow me, before more of them trouble us.
I've an errand to run around here first. I'll catch up with you there later.
Remember, past the kitchens, down to the beach, inside the caves there. There is a safe place.
Who in their right mind would think of a thing like this?
And what you after?
Get bent.
A grin cracks her stony face.
Sure thing.
She looks up.
You looking to buy something? Found it in the scrap heap not so long ago. We used to know each other back in the day, you know. Dallas and I. Never knew her to be much of a wrench head back in the day, but once she joined the Order, she started turning out all manner of oddities. Oh, I dunno. She was a sweet soul. Quiet. Loved her family. Always seemed strong as I recall, but she didn't come across as no fearless military leader back then. She was just a girl. People do change, don't they?
She nods once.
You looking to buy something? Or do you just want to waste my time with a whole lot of questions? For you? Hell no. Worthy is exactly the right word. You know, someone who's proven himself might earn my time of day. Speaking of, you haven't, so buy or shove off.
Amidst a crowd of screws, bolts, and scraps of metal, the woman is manipulating a glove-like contraption fitted with 5 long metal skewers. She doesn't look up as you approach.
And what you after?
Amidst a crowd of screws, bolts, and scraps of metal, the woman is manipulating a glove-like contraption fitted with 5 long metal skewers. She doesn't look up as you approach.
And what you after? Where's the oil? Leave me. Go. No. Don't you dare. I want to be done. I won't let the Reds won't let them take me. Leave me.
She bends over double in a violent coughing fit. As it subsides, she dabs her mouth with her sleeve.
Mercy. I hope that it is. Can't stay here. Leave me. Go. Get away. Get back. At least wait till I've croaked my last if you want to study me.
She groans in pain, refusing or unable.
Didn't mean so much.
So this is Fort Joy. What a crumbling disaster.
I know that look well enough. You're about to pop, ain't ya? Why don't you enter a match and let some of that frustration out the right way? You'll find out. Down the hatch, then. You're scared, are you?
Ain't fit for beasts.
Griff is slowly, methodically peeling the skin from a potato.
Shut up, elf. This clown,
Caught him stealing from my kitchen. Still won't say where he stashed my supplies. Sound like someone you'd let off with a slap on the wrist. Caught him red-handed trying to make off with a second crate after he took the first. Went down like a rent boy when we grabbed him. Easy. Supplies. Crate of food, citrus in particular. He'll talk, or he'll die quiet. Alls I want is my supplies. Happy to let this clown die in a gutter instead of my kitchen. Bring back my crate, and you got yourself a deal. Ain't been here long, have ya? No one gets to have it all. No one starves anyone else.
He twirls his knife between his fingers.
Divine's gone. This blade is the only god watching over Fort Joy.
An elf, caked in mud and blood, looks up at you from the bottom of the cage. He holds his shoulder at a strange angle. Despite his condition, he appears eager for your attention.
You believe what he says? That I am a thief? Perceptive. Like most men behind bars, I'm innocent. Like most of us here on the island, in fact. Aren't you like me, looking for a way out?
Here's the goods. Like you wanted.
Got it.
Some people settle in. They don't go poking around in Griff's kitchen. They find a quiet place, wait their turn. Not you. Griff tells you, does he not? I take his supplies. But I don't take what he thinks. I do not have his oranges. I do not even see them. I tell you what I know. But first, I want to make a trade. I know a way out. I show you. And you help me out of here. I cannot die in this cage. Trust is all we have here. I do not counterfeit. I have honor. Finally, progress. Griff releases me if he sees I do not have what he misses. You must find who steals them. After I am free, you are free. I see no one. In fact, I only hear the sound of Griff clearing his throat. You know how he does? Like so. For some time, I think Griff takes his own supplies. But I see the anger in him that he does not find it. he truly does not find what he seeks. Griff is a powerful man. Power is mysterious, in case you haven't noticed. I intend no harm. I want only some provisions. A bit of bread, a potato or two. Nothing Griff should be loath to give. I need to escape, and I have people to consider. You understand? Thank you. And hurry. Please.
What's your hand, Pipspock? What are you loitering round here for? If Boss trusts you to find something for him, you better not disappoint him. You won't like him when he's disappointed.
When another divine arises, will source change back? Yet so quickly, we find source so dangerous. What in his death caused?
Boss will be fine. He's got himself in a fit state now, but as soon as another shipment comes in, he'll be right as rain.
When another divine arises, will source change back? What if there are no sorcerers left? Why hasn't Alexander risen yet?
You mean that guy in the cage? Oh, I don't associate with elves. Fella says he's innocent, but you know how they lie. Yeah, Boss is awful passionate about citrus. I can't get enough of the stuff. I got my good eye on you, bub. Make it quick. I never seen one myself, but me cousin up in Gore said one appeared from the clear sky one day and ate up every child under the age of 12. I don't know where they come from, but without the divine, there ain't much we can do to stop them. Sure, Pellamine made it as far as the Hollow Marshes even. They dragged his corpse back the next day, head pulled clean off by a ghost. I saw it myself. Hell if I know. Don't rightly know if it can be done. If they take the source out of you, what are you?
Bleeding dwarves didn't eat so much.
Easy, eh?
I won't say it again. Come on, chap. Don't be unreasonable. Better even to puke yourself to death than get purged. What do you think? You should be happy for grief.
When another divine arises, will source change back? What if there are no sorcerers?
Isn't it?
So quickly, we find source so dangerous.
Now, let's not get nasty. Greet's better off, I'm sure.
Keep my name out your mouth, Elmo. But why?
Easy now, old chap. It isn't my fault she's dead.
Will source change
The smell, though.
I'm gonna give you one more chance to shut that ugly mouth, Alexander.
Goodness, this place has made you a freak. Look up, old chap. There's plenty of secrets about.
Of dust. If she pops the tears, oh